If you want to conquer conflict and manage uncomfortable, courageous conversations when there is a potential conflict situation, whether at home or at work, I have 3 specific ideas for you. First, please know everything is about mindset. So number 1, if you have a mindset of, I am worthy of having a voice, I am worthy of being heard, I am worthy of having an opinion, I'm worthy of offering a solution or a resolution. If you have that one mindset, that is the foundation of helping you manage courageous conversations or potential conflict situations. Number 2 is to know that one voice can make a huge difference in your organization, in your company, in your community, in your family, in your life. And if you know that you are that person who could potentially have that voice to make a difference, then that will give you more courage to speak up. And number 3, if anybody threatens, number 1 or number 2, if anyone threatens you by what they say or what they do to make you feel unworthy of speaking up, unworthy of sharing your opinion, undervalued, like you have no right to speak up here, then I want you to do this. Here's a really good communication hack. If they say something to you that makes you feel that way, instead of reacting, I want you to take a beat, which is my way of saying take a deep breath, divest yourself emotionally, and simply ask a question. And when I say divest emotionally and ask a question, I believe that you can't be curious and defensive at the same time. And you can't be curious and have hurt feelings at the same time. So train yourself to take a beat, and before you react, ask a question. And if you can't think of a question to ask in the moment because it's kind of a stressful moment, then use this. 3 words, real simple, help me understand. And then you fill in the blank. Help me understand what you mean. Help me understand what you're saying. Help me understand how you came up with that perspective. Choose one, don't use all 3. And when you use these statements, these help me understand questions, what you're doing is allowing for the other person to give you some more information as to where they're coming from, and hopefully give you some clarity, shed some light on that conversation before you react. Because if you react immediately without knowing the whole picture, you could actually make a potential conflict situation into an actual conflict situation. So we can't control other people. We can't control other people's behavior. We can't control other people's tone of voice, but we can control what we're contributing to these kinds of conversations. And if this conversation starts to get heated and the other person won't back down, and when you gather information, they really are trying to, with their language, tone of voice, verbiage, body language, trying to make you feel devalued, then use an exit line. And a good exit line is, I'd like to get closure on this. How about 3 o'clock? Would that be right? Or would 9 o'clock be okay for you? So what you're doing is you're removing yourself temporarily from the situation. Or, this conversation is important to me. I have a prior commitment. What does 3 o'clock look for you so we can circle back? Or would 9 o'clock be better? Now, you're not asking for permission to remove yourself from the conversation. You are removing yourself from the conversation and giving them options as to when would be a good time to circle back and complete it. Now, if you can't remember those 2, then remember this one. I need 5 minutes. Now, whatever exit line you choose to use, you got to exit. And when you exit, where do you go? I don't care. You go wherever you need to go to calm down. Walk outside, get some fresh air, walk around the office, walk around the building, go find some quiet space to take some deep breaths, maybe pray and meditate, maybe call your best friend, call your anger buddy. But whatever you do, calm, get centered, and remember my first 2 ideas, that you have the right to speak up, you have the right to an opinion, and one voice can make a difference in the world, and you could own that voice. Now, if you use an exit line, you got to come back, because you only want to calm yourself down so you're not contributing any hostility or misunderstanding to the conversation. And one last thing, so much conflict happens in the workplace as a result of misunderstandings due to unclear communication. So I encourage you from this point forward, don't ever say to someone, well, you didn't just understand, or you just did not understand, or you didn't get it, or you misconstrued what we were talking about, because it takes two people to communicate effectively. And if you want to reduce conflict, realize that there are two parties involved and ask questions. And when you get clarity before you react, I promise you it will reduce unnecessary conflict. So on this Front Row Friday, everybody, I hope you have very few situations where you have to use an exit line, but that will prevent you from saying something inappropriate back to that person and then losing all your credibility and power. Have a good Front Row Friday, and we'll see you next time.